I'm right in the rhubarb. You know who's not in the rhubarb?
Who's that?
Rachel Cliff.
Oh my gosh.
She is steered completely clear of that rhubarb.
She's nowhere near the rhubarb patch. Is that what a rhubarb grows in? A patch?
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it looks like a weed.
She's not in the weeds.
She's not in the weeds.
No. She is on a fairway.
Yeah.
Yep. Rachel Cliff.
Any more horticulture references?
She's pesticide free. Which is also true. Organic. Oh boy. Rachel Cliff now holds four Canadian records. And well, she already held 4, I guess.
She already held 4, but she just made one even better.
She's just like Gabriella. Just smashing her own records.
She just can't stop.
No.
Which is super exciting to see. And Japan seems to be her country of choice.
She's big in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So over the weekend, Rachel Cliff did break her own Canadian half marathon record, running a 1:10:06 to break her previous half marathon record by 2 seconds. Tiny margin, but still great.
Oh, yeah.
And I would imagine there's something built into her contract about bonuses for records. So I think probably a pretty big payday for Rachel Cliff.
I would hope so. Yeah. So she now holds the half marathon, 25K, 30K, and full marathon Canadian women's records.
Every single one.
That's amazing. And so her full marathon record, which she set earlier this year, and this half marathon were both run in Japan at women's only races.
Yeah, she really likes women's only races.
Yeah.
I talked to her about it last year, and she said it's super cool to be the main event, which I think sounds super cool.
Yeah.
Not that I really know, because in track races, like it's
always all women.
Yeah, it has to be all women or it doesn't count.
But you're just running around in circles.
But like on
running through the streets of Japan where there's so many fans because they love the sport there, and just doing it with a bunch of other ladies, badass ladies.
Super fun.
It's very great. So good for her. Speaking of Japan.
Yeah, on a similar note, Yuki Kawauchi ran his 100th marathon.
Yeah, Yuki.
94 of those marathons are under 2:20.
Yes, they are. That is a remarkable stat. What makes it even more remarkable is he only ran his first marathon a decade ago, which if you break that down means that he has averaged 9 marathons per year under 2:20 for the last decade.
No, his consistency is insane.
It is insane. And I mean, he's no slouch. He's a 2:08 guy. He's a Boston Marathon winner. Like he's got some creds behind him.
Yuki won Boston.
Yeah, Boston Marathon winner.
All right. Kudos, Yuki.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
That's okay.
That factoid slipped my mind.
Yeah, there's a picture of him crossing the line in Boston.
Yuki is a Boston winner.
Yuki's a Boston winner.
That's hilarious. We all forget.
I know.
Anyway, Yuki, 100 marathons, 94 of them so fast. And it's so impressive, his consistency.
Yep.
He usually runs 2:14 to 2:17.
That's
that
his
seems
jam.
to kind of be his window.
Yeah. Yeah. And he just loves to race. Amazing. Speaking of really fast marathoners, Eliud Kipchoge.
Yeah.
I'm so curious to see what's going to happen.
I hope Bekele also commits to London 2020.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then they race
Epic
each other.
showdown.
And then we see who is the fastest.
The actual fastest.
The actual fastest.
Okay, but so here's what's going to happen though, because let's say, so Eliud has committed to London.
Yes.
Which he has won 4 times. This would be his 5th victory, should he do it.
Yeah, he's like the Mary Keitany of London.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But London is late April, which puts it only 3 months before the Olympics.
I know. So
he's been really quiet about whether he's going to do the Olympics or not. But what I would love to see is a Kipchoge-Bekele showdown in London, and then a repeat at the Olympic Games.
That sounds amazing.
I know.
That sounds amazing. I'm so excited for the Olympics.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I think that would be killer. I don't know. Bekele hasn't committed to London. I believe he's made hints about the Olympics. I would imagine Bekele will be at the Olympics.
I would think so.
Anyway, I hope they're both there.
Yeah, I hate when runners duck each other. And I get there's a lot of money on the line and all of that. And you want to go to the places where you have the best chance. But like, go head to head.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a good showdown.
Exactly. And like, honestly, does Kipchoge need the money anymore?
Probably not.
He's, I think, been paid handsomely.
Yes.
He's had
As has Bekele.
As has Bekele. They've both had some of the most like illustrious careers in running history.
And it's not as if coming second at a world major marathon is like a crappy
It's a bad
payout.
day. No, freaking race each other.
Yeah.
We want to see it.
So given that I know that Eliud Kipchoge and Kenenisa-Bekele are both listening to this right now, this is our call to action, gentlemen.
Please.
Give the people what they want.
We want to see a race.
We want to see it. Final piece of road news. I had to swallow my humble pie when I read this one, because not that long ago, Maddy, we had a pretty candid conversation where I quite cockily said, I
banded it.
have the best way to bandit a race. And then I gave all these reasons why I thought I did it the right way. But evidently there is no right way to do it.
You're not supposed to bandit.
No, not for any reason, under any circumstances. And
I asked several race directors and all of them said, no, never, never, ever.
But not only is it like a faux pas, it's actually illegal.
In Texas, you can be charged
$500.
$500 USD.
For theft of service.
Yeah.
Which is... It's true.
Technically
That's what
speaking.
It is.
Yeah, sure.
But, man, that is a stiff penalty.
I know. This feels like a lot, but in fairness to this Texas race, the Ford banned Kia 30K, apparently people aren't banditing anymore. So
it's gone way down. Yeah. And but I think it was like they wanted people to rat on each other.
Yeah,
they were like asking runners to call each other out and like report them to the police. It was like a citizen's arrest for banditing a road race.
Also, it kind of felt to me like, those DVD commercials that stealing, like illegal downloads commercials they used to play in front of DVDs when you were in school.
Or VHSs, if you can remember those folks.
And this music was playing and it was like, ding, ding. And it was like, you wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a handbag.
Why would you steal?
Pirated videos is illegal.
It's a form of stealing. It's a theft of service.
That's really what this feels like to me.
Yeah, and I think you need to make that infomercial.
But I used to watch. I was the kid. I'm a real rule follower, and I used to watch these videos and be like, shit. Like. I know on the desktop at home, there is at least one illegal video that my friend Thomas put there, and the cops are going to come to my house, and they're going to find that I stole.
So I had a friend who will go unnamed when I was at university who got caught downloading pirated music. And
what was that, Napster?
Yeah, it was that whole Napster scam. But here's this college kid who was... He was fined like thousands and thousands of dollars. Like the police basically came to his dorm room and were like, stop doing this.
That was my nightmare.
Stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got away with it. But anyway, don't illegally pirate DVDs and don't bandit races. And
if you're not familiar with this video, it must be on YouTube. We'll link it for sure.
It's like a part of our childhood.
Because I watched that clip so many times and thought, I'm going to be busted.
It scared you straight.
Yeah.
It's effective. Little bit of track news.
A little bit of sad news.
Yeah, it is sad. So Peter Snell passed away last Thursday at the age of 80. And Snell was thrice crowned Olympic champion from New Zealand.
The only person since 1964 to win the double gold at the Olympics in the 800 meter and 1500 meter.
Yes.
He's also a double former world record holder.
Right.
In the 800 and the mile.
Yes. Incredible. And his times were speedy. So Nick Willis, who is another New Zealand standout, had a pretty lengthy post sort of commemorating Snell. And he made a comment about how his times would still be competitive, like at the Olympic level.
Yeah.
And this was in 1964 was when he was dominant.
That's aging well.
And on a cinder track. I mean, there's videos of him racing at the 64 games. And I'm like, oh yeah, they ran on dirt.
And Canadian Bill Crothers was second in that race.
That's right.
In the 800.
He was. Yeah. Anyway, rest in peace, Peter Snell. Awesome legacy.
Track legend.
Yeah. His legacy will continue for sure in the form of Nick Willis and many other awesome. Are they called Kiwis? No,
they are Kiwis.
They are.
They're Aussies are the Australians. Kiwis are the New Zealanders.
Yep. Many other Kiwis to come. So I think we need to change the name of our trail segment to Ultra/Epic.
Trail/ultra/stuff I would literally never sign up for.
Right.
But I think it's cool that people do.
Right. We're glad other people do it. Yeah. Other people do the crazy / awesome stuff. So the first is the Desert Solstice. Never would I ever want to do something like this. You must get dizzy. Do they go the same direction the whole time? Or would they switch it up?
I think so. But you know what? After you've gone that direction for so long, switching it up would make you feel terrible.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
when you do
true.
a track workout and you do it in the reverse direction, which
awful.
in theory is good for your legs,
right.
but you really just feel like you don't know how to run.
Yeah.
I don't think it would feel good.
So what we're talking about is a 24-hour track race on a 400-meter track. And Marissa Lizak of California won it outright, won the whole darn shebang with 148.08 miles, which is roughly 238 kilometers in 24 hours on a circle. That's 595 laps.
I can't. I have to do some nights 40 laps of the AC.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the
200
AC,
meter
right.
track, and I hate that. Yeah. So up in the 600s on a 400 track.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't feel up my alley.
No. Well, this was a personal best for her by more than 11 miles. It was also a new American F40 to 44 age group record. And she's coached by Camille Herron.
Ultra running legend.
Which makes sense. Yeah. Who also set the new 24-hour record back in last year. Back in last year it was set.
It was back in last year. I remember back in last year.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Things were different back in last year. The new iPhone hadn't come out.
Ah, yes. The defining moment of 2018.
Yeah. What else hadn't happened? No person had run under 2 hours for the marathon.
You weren't a national champion in the 800.
Oh, a far cry from it, my friend.
See, a lot can change in a year. Yeah. There's hope for all of us.
In other ultra news, 84-year-old Canadian Roy Svenningsson of Edmonton became the oldest person to ever complete a marathon in the Antarctic.
In the Antarctic, yes.
In the Antarctic.
Yeah.
I have an ignorant question for you. What is the difference between the Arctic and the Antarctic?
Antarctic is South Pole, Arctic is North Pole.
Anyway, oldest person to complete a marathon in the Antarctic, running 11 hours, 41 minutes, and 58 seconds at the Antarctic Ice Marathon.
Good job, Roy.
Really good job, Roy.
But 11 hours. Almost 12 hours. That's a long time to be out in minus 20 degree weather.
Really long time. Anne's going to interview him.
Oh, really?
And I've asked her to ask him about what do you wear?
Yeah,
running in the
question.
Antarctic for 11 hours.
Yeah.
Because you're sweating, but it's freezing.
Yeah.
But you're still running a marathon.
The only saving grace to this is that the Antarctic is currently bathed in 24 hours of sunlight a day.
That's incredible. You had that off the top of your head.
I know. I just happen to know things about the poles. I'm really into them.
Well, it's important that we have you here because my geography knowledge is limited. It's actually the lowest mark ever on my university transcript. I believe I got a 57.
We had this conversation and there was some concern about academic probation.
Yeah, I squeaked by. I
Good
needed a 2.6 to maintain my scholarship. You're looking at a girl who got a 2.7.
You know what? C's get degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's one of those things where you're probably like, when am I ever going to need geography again? And here you are as a running journalist. Anyway.
Needing geography. You need geography for everything. You need everything for everything.
It's true. Except math, because now there's calculators on your phone all the time.
Yeah, I try and make myself do mental math now. I try and make myself do long division sometimes just to see if I got it.
Good for you. That is way more ambitious than what I do. I think being a runner makes me really good at math because I'm constantly, three things. I'm constantly adding up mileage. I'm figuring out paces and I'm doing pace conversions from miles to kilometers, which is not always easy. And I've become really good at working within 60-second increments.
Yeah. I don't like when I have to convert stuff from seconds to minutes and seconds.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah. When it'll be it's an 84-second lap.
Right.
Which is great. It's meant 20. But then when you do multiple 84-second laps and cumulatively, how much have you done? Yeah. And then
what pace per kilometer
sometimes
is that?
My coach is looking at me and I think just my one eye's twitching a little bit. So I'm trying to be where am I at in this workout?
But see, this is why you have coaches so they can be the smart ones.
That's true.
It's great. Yeah. They're my human calculators.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Helps a lot. Final piece of ultra
training.
Epic trail news.
Jim Walmsley
is bananas.
The reigning world mountain champion.
Yes.
Had an insane training week last week.
Yeah.
Go to Strava, his biggest week of 2019. I don't know if it's his biggest week ever, but I would imagine it's up there.
One of, yeah.
And he ran 243 kilometers, which included over 4,000 meters of elevation gain.
Gross.
And like, he did good work. Like, this isn't junk. Like, he's running fast.
Yeah. Over a 7-day period.
Some of it's at altitude.
Most of it was at altitude.
Yeah, he came down to Phoenix sometimes.
Yeah.
Season flag a little bit.
Right.
Worked out with Canadian Rory Linkletter for a fartlek, which is the funniest running term ever. Yep. If you don't know what it is, it just means speed play in Swedish. But
those Swedes have some funny terms.
When you're an Anglophone, it sounds gross.
Yeah. My dad had a bumper sticker at one point that said, "I'd rather be fartlecking" on his car.
That is good.
Yeah.
I wore a t-shirt as a kid that said, "I'm addicted to LSD and speed."
I remember you saying this. Yeah.
Which
I think you should dig that out of the old closet.
Yeah.
Revive it.
I don't know if I gave away so much stuff. Actually, it went to Value Village recently. There's some kid walking around Toronto in a t-shirt that says, "I'm addicted to LSD and speed."
That makes me quite happy. I really hope they're a runner.
Mm-hmm.
Second last rundown of the year.
I know.
Listeners, tune in next week because
next week we're talking about our most memorable moments of the decade.
Yes, because it is going to be a new decade. I keep forgetting that.
I know, it's crazy.
Weird, yes.
2020, I thought we'd have space cars by now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I think everyone did. I'm kind of disappointed in the world.
I thought we'd be the Jetsons, but anyway, we'll get there.
We're getting there.
But we want you on, to DM us or tweet at us or tag us on Facebook or however you
carrier pigeon, smoke signals,
LinkedIn us. I don't know, leave a note on my car. I want to know what your most memorable running moment of the decade was. And like that can be like a personal triumph or it could be something that a fellow Canadian did, or it can be a non-Canadian.
We're going to inspirational.
We're going to stick to Canadians, but like we're not limiting you.
Nope.
So
whatever you think was awesome in the last decade that had a big influence on running and or you, we want to hear about it. Mm-hmm. So Shakeout Podcast is the handle. We will be posting on all of our social feeds. And get at us, because we want to talk about you on the air. Mm-hmm. We'll give some shout outs. For the week of December 16th, I'm Kate.
I'm Maddy.
And we'll be back next week.